Hello and welcome to Health Professions 204. My name is Meghan Brien. Today we have Kelsey Baker playing the guidance counselor, Mrs. Lawrence, Elizabeth Butkos as the teacher, Miss Johnson, Nicole Carfagno as the gym teacher, Miss Clark, and Emily Flohr and Andrea Dicristofaro as Jake's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. Watch out for our topics of parenting styles, temperament, and how video games affect children's behavior.
Come in.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Miss Clark, Miss Johnson, how are you doing?
We're good.
Okay. You want to meet with me real quick?
We just had to talk about one of the students, Jacob. He's been displaying some aggressive behavior in gym class.
So we're talking about Jacob Thompson, right?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of behaviors?
He's been running around, tripping people and hitting people. I've also noticed that he's been pointing like fake guns like back of people's heads and trying to shoot them.
Okay.
And also he's been swearing quite a bit.
Alright.
And I think Mrs. Johnson can back me up.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of the same things. Recently we had an art project and he started drawing some very explicit images, very gory, definitely inappropriate for his age group.
So you ladies think it's time that we have a parent counselor conference?
Yes,
Yeah.
especially because two of the other students' parents have called me and have complained about how their children's feelings have been hurt by Jacob.
Okay, well, thank you ladies for coming in. I'm definitely going to give these parents a call, have them down for a quick meeting and resolve this issue. If nothing changes and Jacob still is doing this behavior in a week or so, please come back and we'll think of a different way to resolve this issue.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
What number is this? Hello?
Hi, Miss Thompson. This is Miss Lawrence calling from Riverside Elementary School. I'm calling in regards to your son, Jacob.
Jacob? What did Jacob do?
Well, it's not exactly one thing he did, but we would like to have you and your husband down for a parent-counselor meeting. It shouldn't take long, maybe a half hour in one afternoon.
A half hour?
Mm-hmm.
What day were you thinking?
I can do any day this week after 3 o'clock, whatever works best for you.
I'm checking my schedule right now. Thursday, I think Thursday should work.
3:30, can you and your husband both be there?
Yes, I can make that work.
All right, well, I'll see you Thursday at 3 o'clock.
Sounds good, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. How are you, Miss Thompson? Miss Lawrence.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Hi,
you, Miss
how are you?
Lawrence. Good. How are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. All right, well, follow me right this way. We can go to my office. All right, so I called this meeting to talk about your son, Jacob. He's been displaying some aggressive, inappropriate behavior for the school setting.
He's doing this at school? He's being inappropriate at school?
Just some of the actions that he's doing include swearing sometimes at other students. He does.
Really?
He does pretend to shoot other students.
Do you have,
with
like-
guns?
This is ridiculous. Do you have, specific examples
What
of
is
this?
it? What exactly is he doing?
One of the teachers came up to me and told me an example. In particular, during an art project, he was making some inappropriate and vulgar and explicit images in his drawings.
That is not alright.
That's not acceptable.
Does this happen at home? Does he display these behaviors at home at all?
No.
Not really. I mean, he
I mean,
keeps to himself, right?
Yeah. When I come home from work, we eat dinner, he goes, plays a video game or two,
Exactly, yeah.
stays in his room. He's a pretty quiet kid,
Yeah.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he does act up, I usually don't want anything to do with him. I just let Josh deal with him because he has a temper and he can whip him into shape.
Yeah, if he does something wrong, I'll let him know what's right and what's wrong. I'll spank him, I'll send him to his room.
Yeah.
All right, so you mentioned video games a little bit earlier. What kind of games does he play at home?
I mean, I did buy him Halo and Call of Duty. A lot of boys are playing that these days, so.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll watch TV at night together.
Exactly,
We'll watch
yeah,
some movies. I mean, some shows might be
They
a
can
little...
be a little rough. I don't know.
Yeah, but honestly, like, he's usually, I feel like he doesn't pick up.
No, he's not paying attention, I don't think. He's doing his own thing.
Actually, Jake at this point in his life is absorbing all of this around him, and he's taking all of it in and taking it into consideration. He, right now, being 7 years old, can't separate the virtual world and the reality world. So sometimes they get intertwined, and he can't separate what's right in school and what's right in video games.
Yeah, well, this behavior in school is not acceptable.
I agree, and I really think that this is something that we can solve with a few minor adjustments at home, and in the school setting, we can really nip this in the bud early.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to show you some options that we have here to change Jake's behavior and attitude at home as well as in school. So right here, I have some characteristics that I do believe you are authoritarian parents. And some of these characteristics include impatientness.
See, Josh, that's you. You can be pretty impatient with Jake.
Yeah.
And then we have forceful punishment, like the spanking you said earlier. And then dismissiveness as well.
Yeah. I mean, you tend to, like, if you're busy with work, you'll just blow it off sometimes.
I just have a few things here that I'd like you to try out at home, see if they're working for you. No spanking. So I'd like you to try out that. By spanking Jake, this shows him that violence is okay and violence is the answer. So if he sees violence and you distill violence in him, then he's going to repeat that later in life. And that's what you're seeing in the gymnasium.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the next thing we're going to do is try and limit his video game time use, or maybe change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like maybe an hour a day or like a few hours a week, just something like that.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is really important. We're going to try and everyone as a family eat together. So bring everyone out of their rooms, bring everyone together around the table to have a nice home-cooked or take-out meal, whatever that night, but just being together. And then instead of him going up to his room, like to play video games, maybe you can make a dessert together after dinner, or play like a game, Monopoly or something, just to get his mind away from that.
Okay.
And that'll also limit his video game time use. Do you have any questions, or is that all right with you?
I mean, you mentioned something about no spanking, and like I do get impatient, and that's the way like I was brought up. So, is there any better ways to enforce rule instead of spanking him, or any other ways?
Yeah, of course. So what we're going to try and do is be more consistent and reasonable, have consistent and reasonable expectations, and then enforcing them regularly creates a network for him to understand and rely on and know what he has to do.
Okay.
And what his expectations will be for that situation.
Okay. That sounds good.
Another quick two things, encourage him to express himself. So try not to dismiss him as much, listen to what he has to say. Let him, show you what he is so he can create his sense of autonomy.
Okay.
And then just be patient with him and attentive. So you gotta listen to him, listen to what he has to say, even though it might not be, the most fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we can definitely work with that because we just want what's best for him inside of the classroom and outside of the classroom. So
we were both appalled when we heard about his behavior. So I think we all need to just take that next step.
Thank you for coming in. One last thing. What will really help and really be beneficial to Jake is that you make him feel important. Create that warm, loving environment, which is sensitive to his needs, so he can understand what he has to do and what's expected of him.
All right. Well, we can definitely do that.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in. It was really nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.